Hi everyone, I'm Laura and this is Sarah from Duo, and a few of you will know us already. We just really wanted to jump on here. Obviously we put up a post on Friday about a flex and flux strategy that we've been working on with a lot of our clients in response to starting to get back to work in light of coronavirus. Obviously last night's announcement for some people was as expected, for others it wasn't. But I think, for us, this is not really about commenting on that per se, but it's actually about looking at the one thing that you can guarantee for your business in the coming months is that there's going to be uncertainty, and there will be different levels of uncertainty. Everything from vast uncertainty to moments of more clarity, but there'll still be uncertainty surrounding that. So really what we're doing, and working with a lot of our clients on, is preparing your business for uncertainty. You'll have seen in the doc there's 3 levels. So your business, your leaders, and your people. And really it's making sure that you've got things in place to tackle uncertainty at all 3 of those layers. So we just thought today we'd jump on here and talk about a few key points to maybe help give you some tips and some insight into some of the stuff that we're doing, or we're seeing our clients doing, that might be useful for your business. So the first thing that really we've been looking at is, how do you instill some calm when there feels like there's a lot of chaos? So I don't know if you want to talk around that.
Yeah, I think, we've obviously been working with clients around the communication strategies and how do they distill really important information across the business. How do they make sure that those messages are picked up and interpreted the right way? Really interesting after last night. Certainly this morning there's been an absolute sort of an abundance of different messages, and the way people have interpreted the announcement yesterday has varied so significantly, and some of that might be down to the detail that will come today, but some of it is human nature means that we will create our own narrative. So we will storytell, we will make something mean what we want it to mean. So one of the things that we're really talking to the leaders in the businesses we're working with is, you must create the narrative. Otherwise, your employees and the people around you and your clients they will fill the gaps. And so, we say that actually more communication is better than less. More is best. And making sure that you are really clear and sticking to the facts, and making sure that the communication lines are, because currently there is uncertainty and there will continue to be. So it's really important that you give those updates in a timely manner, where you can, but you're also super transparent in saying that you potentially don't know all of it and it might be open to change.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that I know we've talked about between ourselves and with our clients is around, everybody is experiencing this environment on a personal level. So although this might be happening to everybody and we're all in it, worldwide actually, but that your personal circumstances mean that you might be responding to things differently to other people, and at the root of that often fear sits, and I know that we've been experiencing some of that in the one-to-one coaching sessions we've been doing, and some of the sort of advisory stuff we've been doing with businesses at the top, and that fear piece, isn't it, Laura? It's absolutely, it's huge, and it's important to address it.
Yeah, it's such a big piece, and I think fear is so unique, and the way that people experience fear is so different. And I think this is absolutely not a place for a one size fits all type approach. I was talking last week around, obviously, the announcement last night, but I think we all knew this was coming anyway, is if you've got people that can go back to work, so especially impacting construction and manufacturing, then they should. But that doesn't mean that they will be ready. And it may mean that as a business, you need to do some one-on-one work with them, because people's fear levels will be different. Some people are not that fearful currently. There are other people that are really experiencing high levels of fear and anxiety around this. And I think especially if people have different personal situations. So it's really important to, the way that we would recommend doing it, speak one-on-one with those people, because you absolutely can't do a broad brush piece with this. Talk to them about their fear levels of coming back to work, and make it feel as safe as you can feel and as comfortable. So whether that's, you know, people who've maybe been furloughed or sat at home, whether that's if you've got people in the office, you could actually walk around the office with a videoing on your phone, or do sort of a live stream to be able to show the different measures that you put in place. Because I think sometimes it's difficult for people to visualize that. You know, you can say, we've put up screens, we've got everybody working as a part, we've got the right equipment in place. But often, until people can see that, you know, you don't really want them walking in on their first day back to work and having that first experience then, because it might well be that they don't sleep in the nights that run up to that. So any way that you can make that fear feel more comfortable, and actually showing that you're doing, as an employer, you know, you're providing all of the possible things that you can put in place, really helps.
Yeah.
Sometimes a conversation, you know, is enough, but there's another big piece around that, around people's different resilience levels, and that definitely impacts how fear impacts you. And I think there's a lot of things businesses can be doing to be preventative, even for the people, you know, that are working from home and may well be working at home for a period of time. There's going to be a return to work point. So if there's some stuff you can do on resilience currently, you know, that definitely, and that's something that we've been really looking at, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think that, you know, understanding what resilience is, and people, you know, giving themselves a hard time if they've been going through some ups and downs during this process, and really questioning whether some people are stronger than them. Really, resilience is around it's your ability to be able to adapt to change, to trauma, to stress, to uncertainty. And often it depends on when a circumstance hits and what frame of mind you're in at the time that happens, and what else is going on outside of your life. So this is impacting people across the board, which is why people's resilience levels are being hit and they're being tested. And I know one of the things we've been looking at is helping businesses prepare their staff and their people to be more resilient, because, you know, it's all well and good expecting people to, but leadership around resilience, you need to be able to give the tools and give people almost some techniques and some understanding and insight into themselves and the people around them, and then be able to sort of manage their resilience better according to them personally, and for managers to have that insight so that they can then support their staff and the people that they're managing. So this isn't just the person at the top's job. This is about getting maybe transfer of knowledge and some upskilling with management at that level, and then working through. And I know the resilience course, the online training course that we've just developed, is really about helping everybody in the business to be able to understand their resilience levels better, and give them some tools and techniques that they can use when they feel their resilience levels are being tested. Because as we said at the start, this is not something that is, it's not going to be necessarily a smooth road ahead. This is a transition period, and the Flex and Flux strategy really is around helping prepare your staff to be able to deal with the flux that potentially might come, but also to have that flexible mindset, to be able to sort of appreciate that change is inevitable, and how could they best deal with that change.
Yeah.
You know, and I think, you know, we've got some tools and techniques and things that we've developed to be able to help support people around that. You know, it's not just about talking around a subject, it's about giving people actual, you know, ways and means of being able to develop and elevate and learn new things so that they can tackle with this stuff better. So I think that's one of the things that we're really keen for, and businesses don't necessarily have the time to develop this stuff or the know-how. So it's great to be able to pull together some resources for businesses to be able to use as a roadmap across the forthcoming months.
And I think, you know, we'll put some links below the video around some of the resources. We've got some free downloadable resources you can access. We've obviously got the online modules. There's one launching this week around resilience for that tool. Another big piece that you can do is just asking and being aware of people's behaviors. You can send, one thing that we've got a lot of our clients are doing is they're either asking during one-to-ones, so they're scheduling one-to-ones with team members and actually really getting underneath how they're feeling and watching their behavior. If you could do that on video, it's even more impactful because you can actually watch somebody's response when you ask a question. You lose that when you do that over the phone because you can't actually read their behavior. Often they may be saying one thing, but their body language is going to tell you something very different. You can actually get an indication as to how they might be feeling. But surveying is also useful. If you've got a bigger team, it might not be conducive for you to be able to do one-to-ones with everybody. So doing a survey, ask people, ask them how they're feeling about going back to work, ask them how they're feeling about being at home, ask them for some solutions. You might be surprised. This is not all on the owners and the leaders of the business to come up with every strategy that's going to work. Your team will have some great ideas. Ask them, share with them some of your challenges. If you're having challenges with people being productive working from home, ask them, what else would make you more productive? If you're anticipating challenges with people coming back to work, ask them, what else could we do to make this feel more comfortable for you? Create that survey and actually get some of that insight. But watch the behaviors of your people. We talk about that behavior is so key to understanding how people are feeling. So the more interaction you can have virtually on video, you'll be able to spot that in some people, and that will be telling. We didn't want to make this too long. We just wanted to share some of our insight. But what we are saying is, even if you're not a current client, we want to help, and we just want to help in any way that we can. So what we are doing in May is offering 30-minute insight sessions on Zoom where you can sort of share just some of the bigger challenges that you're having, and we can share with you some of the tools that we've been using or just insight that we're seeing from other clients. So if that would be useful to you, please reach out. We're always more than happy to do that. And like I said, we'll link some other resources that you might find useful for your team. And if we can be of any assistance, please reach out. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.